Every generation needs a villain. And in ours, that villain's name is patriarchy. It's the invisible empire, the shadow board of directors, the word that can make a classroom, a conference, or a dinner table go silent. But here's the thing though, most people using the word can't even define it. Some describe patriarchy like a secret male conspiracy. Others call it a centuries old system of oppression still operating quietly in modern times. And then there's a third group, the ones who shrug and say it's just feminist fiction. So who's right? Let's strip the emotions and keep the logic. Check it. Historically, patriarchy was real. The world literally ran on it. Men were protectors, providers, rulers, priests, inventors, soldiers, and scribes because for most of human history, survival was physical. Muscle mattered. War decided borders. Childbirth decided lineage. Patriarchy wasn't an ideology. It was logistics. The one who could defend the village made the rules of the village. You can call that unfair, but you can't call it fictional. Then the world industrialized. Machine replaced muscle. Knowledge replaced territory. And suddenly, the game changed. Power stopped being about strength. It became about systems. And systems don't care if you are male or female. They care if you are useful. That's when patriarchy started to evolve. It stopped being a structure of men over women and became a structure of profit over people. Men still dominate the upper layers. That's true. It's a fact. But not because they were men, but because they got there first. And institutions like old families rarely evict their tenants. Now, fast forward to the 21st century. We live in an attention economy where the loudest message wins. Patriarchy became a talking point, a marketing strategy, a moral shorthand. It's easier to say the patriarchy than to name the actual villains, which is greed, narcissism, and power addiction. You can't build a protest slogan around nuance, so you simplify the enemy. But what happens when both sides start selling the same fear? Men are told they are born oppressors. Women are told they are born victims. And somewhere between those two lies the truth no one profits from. Most of us are just workers in a hierarchy that doesn't care about gender, only output. Modern patriarchy isn't male domination, it's algorithmic domination. It tells men to grind until burnout and women to chase empowerment until exhaustion. It sells both sides the illusion of choice as long as you keep clicking, swiping, and spending. We used to fight kings. Now we fight data models. And nobody gets crowned. We just get trapped. Still, patriarchy leaves cultural fingerprints. Look at corporate boards, politics, Hollywood. Men still outnumber women in leadership. That's not a myth. That's math. But the reasons aren't always malice. They are inertia. For centuries, opportunities compounded like interest for one gender, and debt compounded for the other. Now we are watching generations try to balance an equation they didn't design. Yet, every time someone brings up nuance, the internet attacks like nuance is treason. Just say men have pressures too, and you are labeled defensive. Say women face systemic bias, and you are called a radical. Everyone's yelling across the digital fence, forgetting that the real enemy isn't each other. It's exploitation wearing equality's clothing. Yes, what I've learned, patriarchy as a social relic still exists. But it's not a monolith of men twirling mustaches in secret meetings. It's a collection of inherited habits, outdated incentives, and unexamined comforts. Men benefit from some of it. Women benefit from part of it too. Because any system that's old enough eventually learns to reward compliance, not just dominance. Take social media, for example. It's built on validation economics, likes, views, status. Men perform dominance, women perform desirability. Different script, same director. That's not patriarchy, that's Pablo with better branding. And look at dating. Men are told to lead, pay, and protect. Women are told to expect, filter, and demand. Both are reading from outdated manuals printed in a world that doesn't exist anymore. Patriarchy didn't invent those roles, it just never retired them. So the question isn't, does patriarchy exist? The better question is, who is updating the system? Because while we debate gender, power, the world's power centers quietly moved on. Tech monopolies, media conglomerates, financial institutions, they don't care who's empowered, they care who's engaged. The gender war is profitable distraction, and distraction is the real patriarchy now. You want proof? Look at how outrage became currency. Say the word patriarchy online, and algorithms light up like slot machines. Everyone gets a dopamine hit, nobody gets resolution. That's not activism, that's addiction. And here's the irony, both sides need each other. The anti-patriarchy crowd needs men to blame. The manosphere needs feminists to mock. Without the other, neither gets click. It's a symbolic war with no winners, only content creators. Let's step out of the noise and talk like adults for a minute. There are women living in real patriarchal systems, not hashtags, not TikTok, but nations where education, voting, and safety are still luxuries. That is not fiction, that is oppression. And if we flatten every discomfort into the same category, we disrespect the women actually living that reality. So yes, patriarchy still exists, globally, culturally, historically. But in most modern society, it's not a coordinated plot. It's a leftover operating system nobody rebooted. We inherited it, modified it, monetized it, and now pretend it's still a singular force. When in reality, it's a brand name for the imbalance we all participate in. And I'm not here to defend it or deny it. I am here to remind you it's not the full story. Because once you label something the patriarchy, you give it permanence. You make it untouchable, inevitable, and power loves inevitability. That is how system survives. You want to fight real oppression? Stop arguing over who started it. Start questioning who's maintaining it. Because it's not just men in boardrooms, it's algorithms, corporations, and consumers feeding the same loop. The real patriarchy doesn't need to rule you. It just needs to keep you distracted enough to rule yourself. So is patriarchy a modern problem or just fictional talking points? The answer is both, and neither. Hear me out. It is real where power is cemented, and fictional where outrage monetized it. But either way, if you think you have escaped it just because you tweet about it, you're already working for it. Unless you really believe the system that profits from your outrage wants you to be free. Check out now. I'll catch you on the next one.